CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
And right now in the afternoon edition, the mayor of Minneapolis has strong words for ICE after a woman is shot and killed in her car.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Yamamoto in for Ann. We start with that breaking news out of Minnesota. ICE officials have confirmed that one of their officers shot and killed a woman they claim was trying to run over officers with her car. That shooting happened in a residential neighborhood just outside of downtown Minneapolis. According to police, the 37-year-old woman was behind the wheel of a car that was blocking the street when a federal agent approached her. She tried to drive away, and the federal officers fired at least 2 shots. Police say she was shot in the head and was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The Department of Homeland Security says she was a protester who was attempting to ram ICE agents. However, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey disputes that narrative, had some very strong words for ICE.
So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem was asked about the shooting at a press conference in Texas.
This goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism.
Noem says her department has deployed more than 2,000 officers to the Minneapolis area, making hundreds of arrests in the past 2 days. And you can stay up to date on this breaking news out of Minneapolis on the CBS News app, streaming on the CBS News Bay Area and KPIX.com. Back here in the Bay Area, Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee says there's been some progress on tackling crime in the city in 2025. According to police data, the city saw 67 homicides last year. That's a 27% drop from 2024. Lee says violence prevention and ceasefire programs have helped with the progress. However, it has already been a deadly start to the year in Oakland. 5 people were killed in shootings during the first 7 days. Mayor Lee acknowledged those shootings and said they still have a lot of work to do.
Even with the historic progress, gun violence remains a challenge. And we're continuing our work with all of our partners to address it and to reduce it. And yes, of course, I would like to eliminate it like all of you would.
The Oakland Police Officers Association says they are concerned about underreporting of crimes and says the city needs to hire more officers. Several cities on the peninsula are celebrating a collaborative effort leading to a drop in organized retail theft. In October 2023, Daly City, San Bruno, and San Mateo police departments launched a task force focusing on deterring and arresting groups involved in organized retail theft. Now they say the program is showing strong results. Last year, the task force was able to recover nearly 93% of $78,000 worth of stolen property. In San Mateo alone, the task force is being credited for a 16% drop in commercial thefts from 2024 to 2025. Okay, turning now to our weather with a live look outside right now. Here's First Alert meteorologist Jessica Birch.
All right, Ryan, let's take a quick look at what's happening for us outside on this beautiful but cool day for us in the Bay Area. Beach hazard statements in effect right now. Tomorrow, as we head out to the coast, we're going to be under high surf advisories right around the corner, and that's actually the purple color you see just below me, all along that shoreline where we can see anywhere up to around 22-foot waves. This is not the time to be heading out to the water by any means, especially if you're inexperienced. We're going to continue to keep you updated on those conditions throughout the next couple days. Did you see that below me, by the way? I'm going to replay it one more time. As we head into the overnight hours tonight, we're gearing up for some light showers in the forecast for us. This will not amount to much. This is actually just the leftovers from a storm that happened all the way up in the Pacific Northwest just within the past 24 hours. So as we take a quick look at conditions, yeah, we have some overnight showers tonight, but we quickly dry up and warm up into our Thursday forecast with sunny skies around the corner. I'll have More on that coming up in just a bit. And what you can expect as we head into this weekend. It's hard not to look ahead anyways and take a look behind me, but I'll show you that rain and how much we can expect coming up in just a bit. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Jess. Well, the largest employer in the city of Benicia making a major change. Last night, the Valero refinery announced it will idle most refining operations by April. More than 400 people work at the Benicia refinery. It's unclear how many jobs are expected to be lost, but the company is preparing to notify the state of those layoffs. Valero is also the city's largest source of tax revenue. And last year, Mayor Steve Young told us the city is prepared to get through the loss. There's also questions about the impact to gas prices.
It's possible, but it's very hard to predict because it depends on how well the other refineries operate. And it particularly depends on how well we're able to replace the supply of these departing refineries with greater imports.
Valero says it will take a phased approach to idling the refinery, that it will continue to supply the market through imports. In a statement, Governor Gavin Newsom said, quote, "We're in ongoing discussions with Valero to evaluate options for continued operations at the Benicia refinery. And I appreciate the company planning responsibly, including planning for imports of refined products to supply the market in the meantime." San Francisco has updated a plan to save MUNI after weeks of negotiations between city officials and transit advocates. Mayor Lurie announced the city plans to raise local parcel taxes. The transit system is currently facing a deficit of more than $300 million. The proposal could raise $183 million, which the mayor says will be enough to address the shortfall and support service improvements and expansion. Under the proposal, single-family homeowners would pay a flat $129 fee. Landlords would pay $249 for properties under 5,000 square feet. And owners of rent-controlled units could pass up to half the tax to tenants, capped at $65 a year. Supporters are now working to put the plan on the November ballot. Well, the U.S. is targeting a fleet of ships that illegally transport oil from sanctioned nations like Russia, Iran, and Venezuela. The move follows the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro last week. Natalie Brand has more.
U.S. forces this morning seized 2 tankers linked to sanctioned Venezuelan oil. An operation in the Caribbean captured the Sophia, and a separate one in the North Atlantic secured the Bella 1.
Understand, they are not generating any revenue from their oil right now. They can't move it unless we allow it to move, because we have sanctions, because we're enforcing those sanctions.
The U.S. had been tracking the Bella 1 from the Caribbean since December. The ship is now known as the Marinera and claims to be sailing under a Russian flag.
Literally got out a bucket of paint, painted a new flag on the side, said we're no longer a Venezuelan vessel, we're something else, right? That's not the laws of the sea.
These latest seizures come as the Trump administration focuses on Venezuelan oil following the raid to capture Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. In a social media post Tuesday, President Trump said interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over 30 to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil to be sold at market prices. Some U.S. lawmakers have questioned the administration's focus on oil and whether there's a long-term plan for Venezuela.
This is all about the oil. And their new policy is might makes right. If we want it, we'll get it, and we'll use our military to accomplish that.
Trump administration officials are briefing all lawmakers on the Venezuela raid today and also facing new questions about claims the U.S. wants to take over Greenland.
There is still so many unanswered questions. I hope we get some answers today.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is discussing a range of options and utilizing the U.S. military is always one of them.
The U.S. always has military options for everything. I think it's a general statement. I think with Greenland, it's very clear that we are working on through diplomatic channels.
Sources tell CBS News that Secretary of State Marco Rubio, during an earlier congressional briefing, said President Trump would buy Greenland, not take it by force.
And Greenland does have its own parliament, but it's in Danish territory. The foreign ministers for Denmark and Greenland have requested a meeting with Secretary of State Rubio in Washington, D.C. Still ahead at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, it's been 1 year since fires destroyed large parts of Los Angeles. We are revisiting one family still trying to rebuild from the ashes. And a surprise development in the case of Nick Reiner. What happened in the courtroom this morning to cause the murder case to be delayed? When Nick Reiner appeared in a Los Angeles courthouse today, he's accused of killing his parents, famed director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. He was supposed to enter a plea, but the arraignment was delayed after his high-profile attorney asked to be dismissed from the case. A public defender was assigned to the case. This is video from the courtroom today, or these are some sketches right here. Cameras were not allowed to show Reiner. He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And it's been 1 year since several wildfires ripped through Los Angeles. At least 31 people were killed, thousands of homes and businesses destroyed. Most have not been rebuilt. Jonathan Vigliotti talked with one family determined to stay in Altadena.
Remember the family room?
Mm-hmm. For generations, this plot of land on East Las Flores Drive in Altadena is where the Ben family gathered to celebrate life's most memorable events. 86-year-old Marie Ben is the family's matriarch.
I have not cried.
Why?
I guess it's because we lost everything, but we didn't lose each other.
The Eaton fire robbed this family of musicians of their homes, their church, even their instruments, but not their spirit.
There is so much loss here everywhere we look, but
So
there's
much.
so much joy on this property.
Every time we have the opportunity to really sink into the sadness and into the loss, it's met by all of these really beautiful things.
We first met Marie's granddaughter Lauren and Lauren's father Oscar last January as 3 generations crammed into an Airbnb.
All my stuff is gone.
What has that year been like?
Trying to move in some direction forward, to be able to go back to work, to put the kids in school and create another routine of life in an entirely different place.
And this is a family, 6 generations
Oh, yeah.
in Altadena.
Yeah.
6 generations, not one family staying in Altadena is in their home.
On Monday, they were rehearsing for a community candlelight vigil to mark 1 year of so much change.
When you lose everything, it's very clear what you do have. And for us, that was really just our voices. And it was the most soothing thing.
And construction has begun on about 500 of the more than 16,000 structures lost. Only a handful of homes have been fully rebuilt.
And here's a look at the state capitol, where Governor Newsom has ordered the flags lowered to half-staff to honor the wildfire victims. Back to our first alert weather right now. Let's give you a live look outside. This is in the South Bay from our Black Mountain camera. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Okay, so here's the reality. As we head outside today, we're really just seeing sunny skies with partly cloudy conditions, which could fool you into thinking that we're done with the rain. And the reality is there is a large storm over into the Pacific Northwest right now, and we're getting some of the leftover showers into the overnight hours tonight. You see it just below me. This is a time lapse, so it's going to play again. As we head into the evening hours tonight, early morning hours tomorrow, we'll see a quick splash of showers, not amounting to much. So from now until then, let's talk about some things going on. 50s in the forecast for us today. A pretty chilly start to the day, and as we head outside into the next couple days, it's going to be a little bit hazardous out along the shoreline. With beach hazard statements in effect right now, we'll see high surf advisories as early as tomorrow, as waves are expected to get up to around 22 feet high. Let's head back to the rain, though. Total rainfall expected just within the next day, anywhere up to around 1/10 of an inch in Redwood City, about 1/100 of an inch everywhere else throughout the bay. And I want to show you this, or just as we advance the clock into the afternoon hours today, for the most part, it's sunny. It's beautiful out there. Get some fresh air, go for a park walk. Here's the reality, though, into the overnight hours tonight. There's that quick splash of showers. We dry up tomorrow, and then we're left with sunny skies tomorrow. It will be a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air. So let's actually just take a quick look at the next 7 days in total. Sunny skies tomorrow. Okay, we'll see some partly cloudy skies heading into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we're right back to sunshine with beautiful 60s on tap for us as we head into next Monday and Tuesday. So from now until next Monday and Tuesday, the big story for us still has to do with hazardous beach conditions with choppy waters, high waves. This is not the time to be heading out there along the shoreline. We'll keep you updated with any changes as we head into this weekend's forecast. For now, I'm going to send it back over to you, Ryan.
All right, thanks, Jess, and we'll be right back. Well, the 49ers are officially in playoff mode. They're looking to put that loss to the Seahawks behind them. Matt Lively has some ideas in the Red and Gold Report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers are moving on to the Eagles after that disappointing loss to Seattle on Saturday. One of the main issues in that game, the Seahawks were just the more physical team, and that hasn't usually been the case for the Red and Gold under Kyle Shanahan. Come Sunday, the 49ers need to get back their identity, and it all starts up front. San Francisco ran the ball just 12 times for a total of 53 yards against Seattle. both season lows, and it was tough sledding with left tackle Trent Williams out with a hamstring injury. But the Niners will need to get the run game going if they want to make it to the divisional round. An interesting stat to keep in mind: San Francisco, 11-2 in games backup running back Brian Robinson gets at least 4 carries, but they're just 1-3 when he has 3 or fewer rushing attempts. For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Matt Lively.
Well, tune in tonight for our weekly 49ers Experience show with Matt and Vern Glenn. It airs at 7:30 on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. Well, the A's have been denied their trademarking their own name ahead of their relocation to Las Vegas. They wanted the name, of course, Las Vegas Athletics and Vegas Athletics, but the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office says athletics was too generic and could be confused with other activities. The team is currently going by their original athletics name after temporarily moving to West Sacramento last year. And the federal government has a new food pyramid. Federal health officials say they're prioritizing protein and asking people to avoid processed foods. This is what the new guidelines look like. You can see fruit and vegetables on top with protein and dairy. At the bottom are whole grains. The agricultural secretary calls today's announcement the most significant federal nutrition reset in history. Still ahead on the afternoon edition, an escape caught on camera. How this dog was able to get through multiple doors to break out of his shelter. Well, we're following breaking news here. A hazmat response in Burlingame. A chopper is over the scene on Broadway between California Drive and Chula Vista Avenue. PG&E says a hazardous substance from a third-party source leaked into the electrical vaults in the area. PG&E crews are turning off the power in the area as a safety precaution. While hazmat crews are working to clear the vaults, there are road closures and detours in the area. We'll stay on top of this and bring you the latest as we get more information in. Also, a dog in West Virginia is on the run after sneaking out of a shelter. Check this out. This is security video of the great escape from the shelter. The dog was able to unlock his kennel, then make his way to the front door. After a few tries, he was able to unlock and open the front door and then take off. Pretty smart dog. His name is Dawson, and the shelter staff says they still have not found him. Not a good dog there. That's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Our next newscast is at 5 o'clock with myself and Liz Cook. Hope you have a great afternoon.